Do you have a shady spot in your garden where nothing seems to grow? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to show you how to transform that dark corner into a lush, vibrant paradise. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plants will thrive in the shade and how to create a stunning garden that looks like this. So, let's get started. First things first, what do you actually need? It's simpler than you think. You'll need a good quality garden fork or spade, some compost or well-rotted manure to enrich the soil, a watering can or hose, and of course, your chosen shade-loving plants. A pair of gardening gloves is always a good idea too. The key isn't a long list of fancy tools, but understanding your space and picking the right plants for the job. Before we even think about buying plants, we need to understand the kind of shade we're dealing with. Not all shade is the same. Is it full shade, where it gets less than 3 hours of direct sun a day? This is common under dense trees or on the north side of a building. Or is it partial shade, receiving between 3 to 6 hours of sun? Maybe you have dappled shade, where sunlight filters through the leaves of a tree. Take a day to observe your garden spot. Note when and for how long the sun hits it. This is the single most important step. Knowing your shade type will be your superpower when you go to the nursery. Now, let's talk about the soil. Shady areas, especially under large trees, often have dry, poor soil because the tree roots soak up all the water and nutrients. So, we need to give our new plants a helping hand. Dig over the area with your garden fork, breaking up any compacted soil. Remove any weeds or large rocks. Then, it's time to add the good stuff. Spread a generous layer of compost, about 2 to 3 inches deep, all over the surface. Then, gently work it into the top 6 inches of your soil. This will improve the soil structure, help it hold moisture, and provide essential nutrients for your plants to get a great start. Okay, now for the fun part, choosing the plants. Let's break it down by shade type. For those really dark, full shade spots, you want to look for true shade champions. Hostas are a fantastic choice. They come in an incredible variety of leaf colors, from deep green to chartreuse and variegated patterns. They create a beautiful, lush ground cover. Another great option is the fern. Think of Japanese painted ferns with their silvery fronds, or the classic ostrich fern for a bit of height and drama. Mejores, also known as coralbells, are another favorite. Their foliage comes in shades of purple, bronze, and lime green, adding a pop of color all season long, not just when they flower. And for something that flowers, look for astilbe. Their feathery plumes in pink, red, and white look stunning in a shady corner. Now, if you have partial shade, your options expand quite a bit. You can still use all the full shade plants, but you can also introduce some that appreciate a little morning sun. For example, bleeding hearts are absolutely beautiful with their unique heart-shaped flowers. They are a classic cottage garden plant that does wonderfully in part shade. Hydrangeas are another superstar. Just make sure you get a variety that tolerates shade, like the oak leaf hydrangea, or some of the macrophylla varieties. They provide huge, beautiful blooms in the summer. Impatiens are also a brilliant choice for adding season-long color. They are annuals, but they are inexpensive and will flower their hearts out until the first frost. Once you have your plants, it's time to get them in the ground. The layout is key to a natural, beautiful look. A common mistake is planting everything in straight lines. Instead, think in terms of groups and layers. Place your tallest plants, like the ferns or hydrangeas, towards the back of the bed. Then, layer your medium-sized plants, like hostas and astilbes, in front of them. Finally, use smaller, ground-covering plants at the very front to fill in the gaps and soften the edges. When you're happy with the arrangement, dig a hole for each plant that's twice as wide as its pot and just as deep. Gently remove the plant from its pot, loosen the roots at the bottom a little bit, and place it in the hole. Make sure the top of the root ball is level with the surrounding soil. Fill the hole back in with your improved soil, gently firming it around the plant. After planting, the most crucial step is watering. Give your new plants a really good deep soak. This helps settle the soil and eliminates any air pockets around the roots. For the first few weeks, you'll need to keep a close eye on the moisture levels. Remember that soil under trees can dry out quickly. Stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water again. A good tip is to apply a layer of mulch, like bark chips or shredded leaves, around your plants. This will help retain moisture, keep the weeds down, and regulate soil temperature. Just be sure to leave a little space right around the stem of each plant to prevent rot. Let's quickly cover a few common mistakes to avoid. The biggest one, as we've said, is choosing the wrong plants. Don't try to force a sun-loving lavender to grow in the shade. It just won't work. Another error is not preparing the soil. Simply digging a hole and dropping a plant into poor, dry soil is a recipe for disappointment. Take the time to add that compost. It makes a world of difference. Also, don't overcrowd your plants. Check the plant tags for their mature size and give them enough space to grow. It might look a bit sparse at first, but they will fill in beautifully over time. Crowding them can lead to poor air circulation and disease problems. So to recap, first, identify your type of shade. Is it full, partial, or dappled? Second, improve your soil by adding plenty of compost. Third, choose the right plants for your specific conditions. Think hostas and ferns for deep shade, and hydrangeas or bleeding hearts for partial shade. Fourth, arrange your plants in natural-looking layers and groups. And finally, water them in well and keep them watered, especially during that initial settling-in period. A layer of mulch is your best friend here. By following these steps, you can turn any shady, neglected part of your yard into a beautiful and thriving garden oasis. It's all about working with what you have, not against it. Shade gardening is incredibly rewarding and allows you to play with textures, forms, and subtle colors in a really creative way. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see what you create, so feel free to share photos of your own shade gardens in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening!